I love Charlie Brown.
As a kid growing up, every Halloween we'd watch The Great Pumpkin. Every Christmas we'd watch Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown. Around the fireplace, hanging out with my family, watching Charlie Brown. It's well written, well animated, well voiced over. What's not to love? But one little thing always kind of put me off, and that was the parents in Charlie Brown. Well, the Peanuts. Why do they sound like that?
Oh, good.
And when I'm a big grown-up, will I sound like wah-wah? That's not the point of the video. I'm going to be discussing why, in my own personal opinion, I think that they sound like that. It's just a fun video. Sit back, relax, grab some and some grape Kool-Aid, and let's get right into this. So I'm not going to start off with the history of Charlie Brown, because if you're here, you know what that is. I'm going to be starting off with the core message of the show that I found. So, what is the true meaning of Charlie Brown and the Peanuts? Well, Charles M. Schulz, in the following interview, says this about Charlie Brown.
Recently, my secretary came to work one morning, and she said that her little boy had come home from school the previous afternoon, had removed his jacket, had thrown it down on the living room couch, and had said, "Mom, I feel just like Charlie Brown." And all of a sudden it occurred to me, after all of these years, this is the purpose of Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown is somewhat like a line of poetry. That little boy then did not have to talk any more about his feelings. The mother knew exactly how he felt. And I suppose this could be the reason for Charlie Brown's existence. If someone says to you, "Boy, I feel just like Charlie Brown today," you know how he feels.
As somebody who's been rather devoutly anxious for most of his life, what has kept you going?
I love what I do, of course.
He basically describes Charlie Brown as himself and says that he's telling his own stories through Charlie Brown in a way. That all the emotions he feels while writing him goes into the character. And that even the name Charlie Brown is now an expression of emotion that can just be said. So while Charlie Brown is fun and funny, and I think it's a take on depression and all of these anxieties of being a kid. It's like he captured it perfectly while being an older man.
I think Charlie Brown is just a little bit of what all of us have inside of us. Mainly me. Mainly I'm Charlie Brown.
You really think that?
Oh, undoubtedly. If you draw about people that win all of the time, you are drawing only about the minority. Most of us lose. Most of us have ambitions. We like to win golf trophies or tennis trophies or things like this, but most of us never win them. And also, all of the kids in the strip represent the cruelty of children one to another. And of course, Charlie Brown is the one who takes most of the beating. But you'll find this in any neighborhood, don't you remember?
And it's weirdly relatable for how comical it is, but I guess our lives are just kind of comical sometimes. Alright, now I'm going to be getting into why I think the parents say wah 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 instead of talking. One, it could just be from a writer's perspective. It's funny, and two, you don't have to write as much. And another idea is that children really don't hear adults the way that adults hear themselves. As we grow up, we're growing up with ourselves, so we're understanding the things we go through. But kids, they stay the same. Their minds are unlogical, and they're creative. So the perfect mix, right? If you're an adult talking about boring nonsense that you've been, not brainwashed per se, but that you've grown up with the whole time, and it's just kind of devolved into this boring jumble of do this and don't do this through society, kids don't hear it the way you do. Kids, and I guess me, would say it's boring. So really, it's just the kids ignoring. I'm sure that in that universe, they are able to talk. But I don't think that the kids want to hear, because they're in their own world and they have their own little society and in the Peanuts. So why do those adult characters even matter? Why do we even need to see them? They're so irrelevant here. If you're in the perspective of a kid, where a lot of us were kids watching this and growing up with it, I mean, it's really funny. Who would want to hear an adult just blabber all the time, right? I mean, even now, going into my adult years, right? I guess maybe I still am not mature, or why would I even want to be at that point if it's just boring? And I think that's the perspective of the Charlie Brown characters, and that means that Charles writing these probably has a good childlike spirit. I mean, he just seems like a pretty cool guy. I don't know.
Well, thanks for watching this video, guys. If you're ever feeling like Charlie Brown, go tell someone and tell your parents you love them. And I'll see you guys later. God bless.